coming in lately is that inflation is slipping now to nearly 6.5%. Sudhamani.
As we draw closer to the end of 2008, not all seems to be lost. Inflation, a key concern for the RBI and the markets throughout the year, is easing and has been easing for the past 7 weeks consecutively. In fact, for the week ended December 13th, we have inflation at 6.61% versus 6.84% the week before that. Easing the pressure on the inflation figure will definitely have to be the manufacturing index. Now, this was down 0.3% on a week-on-week basis. This is the index that this week we did clock in the fact that most industrialists across the board had cut product prices after the government cut the VAT by 4% on the 7th of December. So whether it was steel or cement, all producers cut their prices to pass on the benefit of this cut in prices to the end user. The fuel and power index this week remained unchanged. Let's not forget the week before this, we saw the cut as far as auto fuel prices coming and being reflected in the index as a whole. But moving on, most economists are sure that with the ATF prices being cut again next week when inflation does come out, that will factor it in as far as the fuel and power index is concerned. But the key surprise this week would have to be the primary articles index. Now, while the index as a whole was up just about 0.1%, if you dig in just slightly deeper, it's interesting to see that articles like fruits and vegetables, the prices actually fell by 1.5% on a week-on-week basis. Now, the primary articles has been a key concern for the government for a while now, because even though inflation figures have been falling over the last few months, primary articles kept putting the number under pressure, and those numbers kept going up. And now, with primary articles also coming down, we'll also probably see some sort of a drop coming in on the CPI figures. Now, the CPI figures are still trading in the double-digit percentage points. So with this sort of pressure easing, most market men and the government will definitely be happier. But moving on from here, now what does one do? With inflation definitely on a downward path, most market men are quite convinced that 2 to 3% is where they are seeing the final year for March 2009 is where we'll see inflation. And with inflation at such low levels, the RBI has no other option but to cut rates from here. Only thing, when and by how much is what most market men will be watching out for. Back to you.